Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Poppy Britt, and welcome to the Platicando con Poppy podcast. If it's your first time here, then welcome. And if you've been here before, then welcome back. Thank you so much for always making space for me. It's actually my third week in a row posting on a Monday, so I'm pretty proud of myself. My goal is to get back to posting on Mondays. I'm trying to do a better job of getting my podcast recorded early on in the week and then just editing it out throughout the week. That way I have it ready to go for Monday, and that's hopefully going to be my goal moving forward. I think I've kind of started to find like good rhythm and a good balance between everything right now, so things feel pretty good. Been going to the gym consistently, trying to do a better job at working out and being consistent with the gym as well. Finally got to see my family, which I also hadn't seen them since Christmas. And so that was really, really nice. I always try to do my best to see my family as much as I can. They are an hour away, so it is hard to make time to drive down there and come back. But I do my best to try to see them at least once every week, once every 2 weeks max. I try not to go more than 2 weeks without seeing my family, because I just start to really miss them. And I feel like going home just really helps me reset, reminds me of what truly matters, and reminds me that there are people in real life that love and care about me, that my family loves and cares about me. And I love being able to play with my nephews, with my niece, with my little sister, and see them grow too. So it's always really good to go home. My little sister's always so excited to see me. So it's great to just feel at home, basically. And my parents live in a ranch in the middle of nowhere. They have animals, they have chickens, they have cows, they have goats and ducks, and I don't even know what they have at this point. So it's nice to just be in open land with fresh air and just all the animals. My mom siempre me manda, like every time I come home, she'll send me home with a carton of fresh eggs from the farm and stuff. So yeah, it's always really, really good to go home to and just feel the love of the people that matter most to me. So yeah, I feel like I've been doing really, really well. As you can see as well, I did get a few tattoos. I got 1111 on my wrist. I also got Worthy in red ink on my other hand. This is not my wrist. I said on my wrist. It's not my wrist. It is my top of my hand. I don't know if it has a name. And then I got PB right here for Poppy Britt. Basically kind of like the font that I use for how I write my P and my B, but also the font that I use for my podcast. So branded myself a little bit. Just kidding. But yeah, I got these by my friend Zeke. He is an apprentice at Street Hate Tattoos. He's Zeke, Zeek.Vasquez on Instagram. So if you guys are wanting to get a tattoo, he's amazing and he is just getting started on his tattoo journey. So if you want to support an apprentice tattoo artist, then he is your guy. He's great. I love him, and I love supporting creatives. I love supporting my creative friends and trying to show up for, if they teach yoga classes, showing up to the yoga classes. Or, my friend Victoria on here has a YouTube channel as well, and I love watching her videos. And my goal is I keep saying this, but hopefully by the end of this month, beginning of next month, to start having guests. I have a whole list of people that I want on my podcast, from friends that do TikTok to friends who are DJs to friends who are in the industry doing bottle service, whatever, friends who are photographers, tattoo artists, teachers. Like, I have friends from all walks of life, and so I definitely want to get I want to get all of them on here so they can promote themselves, talk about their creative endeavors, and just really dig into who they are, because they're really, really dope people. So I'm excited to start doing that. But I went on Wednesday, I had the day off, and I was at the gym, and I just kind of like got this little itch to get a tattoo, and I didn't even know what I was gonna get, but I was like, fuck it, like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get a tattoo. So I started looking for ideas, And I had been thinking of getting Worthy tattooed on somewhere and had been wanting a tattoo right here. I just didn't know what or what it would say. And I don't know, it just came to me, but I really love how it looks. 1111 is because I'm really big into angel numbers. I love when I see it, I'm like a little kid. Like when I see 1111, I'm like, make a wish. Like I like, why not, lean into like just enjoying the little things in life, like if I want to, believe that making a wish at 1111 is going to make it come true, like why not, So I've always loved 1111 and angel numbers in general. I have 777 tattooed. I have 111 tattooed on me as well. But I'm constantly looking out for angel numbers everywhere. So that's why. And like, I just want to be able to look at my wrist and I don't have to wait till 1111 to make a wish because it's always going to be on me. Also, my dad's birthday is November 11th and he is one of the most important people in my life. I love him to pieces. Despite anything and everything, he's always going to be my dad. And so that's also his birthday right here. So we got that. So we got those 3 little tattoos and I absolutely love them. I'm more of a patchwork kind of girl. It's crazy because when I got them done, I posted them on my Instagram. I was posting when I was getting the tattoos done because I wanted to promote my friend and show people that like his work and, and this dumbass dude, now we're going to get into all the dumbass comments I've received this week because this is literally what motivated me to come home after work. I got home at 11:30. It is 12:30 at night and I'm recording this podcast because I saw a dumbass comment and it just made me so annoyed and so angry. And we're transmuting that energy and using it so that I can sit here and talk my shit and finally get this podcast recorded. Otherwise I would have came home, but I got so angry. I was like, you know what? Let me hop on this podcast and talk some shit because you got me fucked up. But first dumbass comment was of my tattoos. I posted that I was getting tattooed and this guy DMs me, and let me find this DM. I screenshot them and sometimes I post them on my Instagram too because I'm like, I want y'all to see the dumb ass shit I be receiving. But he was like, no more tattoos, please. It takes away from your beauty. It's like spraying graffiti on a Michelangelo painting. First of all, you just told me you're objectifying me because I'm not a painting. I'm not Michelangelo, and I know you're trying to say it like I'm a piece of art, but I'm not a piece of anything. I'm a human being and I'm allowed to express myself however I want, whether it's through me speaking or whether it's me getting tattoos or whatever else. Like I can express myself in whatever way. I replied to him, I was like, who do you think you are to comment on what I do with my body? Mind you, it's someone I don't even know, someone I'll probably never even meet. So I'm like, how does it affect you if I'm getting a tattoo? And if you don't like tattoos, don't get them. And if you don't like women with tattoos, don't be with one or don't watch my shit. If you don't like me having tattoos, then you don't have to watch me. Plain and simple. Second is this guy basically commented, and it's always men. It's always men, which is what I don't understand the most is like, how is it that it's the men doing the shit talking and the commenting? Like, don't you have anything better to do? You don't have anything better to do than to be in women's business or sitting on the internet talking shit, leaving comments on someone that you've never even met and probably will never meet. Like, please sit with that. Does your family know? Do your friends know that that's what you do on your free time, is sit on the internet and hate on a woman that you've never even met? Weird, but okay. But this man, let me find his comment. This guy was like, you should look to settle down with the right man now that you're in your 20s. In your 30s, it usually gets more challenging. First of all, I fucking hate that notion that your life ends at 30. Like, who the fuck? Like, no. Your life is just getting started at 30. It doesn't get more challenging. Like, no. And if someone's not for me, I'm not going to jump into a relationship just because I'm running out of time. I'm not running out of anything. I'm not running out of time. My life is not over and I don't need a man as a marker of, oh, I've made it in life. But anyways, he goes, having a partner to split bills with, it's much more easier than bucking it alone. Well, no shit. Especially in these times with record level inflation in the US, the highest since the 1980s. Also, the DACA situation would be resolved by finding a partner who's a US citizen. So all that should be in your near plans. Should it? Do you get to dictate my near plans? First of all, if I wanted to get married for papers, I would have probably done it by now. I'm not going to get married just to anybody just to fix papers. Would it be nice to be able to leave the country and travel and have that security and be able to get benefits if I needed them? Yes, it would be great, but I'm not going to jeopardize my values and who I am and just marry whoever. Like, if I'm going to marry someone, it's going to be out of love. And if I don't find someone that I love to marry, then I'm not getting married. Lo he dicho mil veces, a mí no me falta nada. Gracias a Dios aquí tengo todo. I have my family, I have a job, I have a home, I have a car. Literalmente tengo todo. I'm very, very, very grateful for DACA, and do I wish there was a more permanent solution for me? Of course. But to sit here and be like, oh yeah, you should look into getting married. Like, oh yeah, let me just go find someone on the fucking street to marry. Like, what are you talking about? To sit here on the internet and tell me, oh, like, it's time to get married. Like, who are you? Like, not even my mom tells me that. My parents have never been the type to sit and be like, ya necesitas casarte, ya necesitas hijos, ya quiero nietos. Like, thank God my family's never been like that. Whenever I'm at family gatherings and stuff, my mom's never like, y el novio? Like, no. Like, my family knows that I'm an independent individual, that whoever is meant for me is gonna be with me. Si llego a tener a alguien, they're gonna meet them in due time, but they're never sitting there like, ya es hora, ya te estás poniendo vieja. Like, no, my life is not over. My life is just gonna continue getting better with time, and I never feel like I'm running out, ever. So yeah, this man was like, it's time to get married. Like, bitch, bye. So apparently I shouldn't get tattoos. I need to get married. This other dumbass today, this is the one that inspired me to hop on the podcast and record it, was this dumbass, because I had seen the beginning of the comment, but I was at work, so no me tocó verlo hasta que salí del trabajo. The ad name is La Verdad Duele. He said, con todo respeto, but when someone starts a comment with con todo respeto, you know they're about to be disrespectful as fuck. Like, you should have stopped there. Anyways, he said, con todo respeto, but during this episode, you mentioned that you're not going to be bebiendo so much anymore, right? Yeah, exactly. I literally said I'm trying not to drink as much. Did I say I'm completely cutting alcohol out of my life and never drinking again? No. Anyways, he said, but I just peeped your TikTok and you uploaded a clip in some random vato's room or bathroom. I was at my friend's bathroom after we went out. Mind you, I showed up late. I had a couple drinks, but I was by no means drunk. But I was in his bathroom because I had to pee, but I went into his bathroom and I made a TikTok because his bathroom was so fucking nice and so clean, and like he had all the body washes and the lotion. I was like just talking about how I was impressed by how nice his bathroom was, and I was like, as a man, like, I'm shook that your bathroom is this nice. I've never seen a man's bathroom be this nice. And in the beginning of the video, my friend was trying to organize the cabinets or something. And I went to go like this, like, no, stop trying to organize it. I want people to see it for what it looks like. It looks great already. So I went like that to like tell him to stop. And this guy was like, oh, you're like, what did he say? Clearly at the beginning, you almost go into the mirror. Your balance was way off, because I went like this to the side to tell my friend to stop trying to organize. That's why, you dumbass. I mean, a mí me gusta beber too, pero no ando diciendo que ya no lo hago. Who are you to judge someone else for drinking if you do it too? And like, again, I said I wasn't going to stop drinking altogether. I don't think I will ever do that. I like tequila. I like to go out. I like to drink. Sorry. Y ya no estás tan chavala to be recording in that state. Exactly. No estoy tan chavala. I'm above the legal drinking age, and I can make my grown ass adult decisions whether I want to drink or not, whether I want to record myself drinking or not. And this is the other thing I hope people know. Once I start having guests on here, there is a high probability that I will be taking shots on the podcast. Even if I don't, my guests probably will. So just buckle up for that one, because there was one podcast where I did take some shots before, and this dude was like, you're not setting a good example. Why are you drinking? Like, esto y lo otro. No. Les voy diciendo ya que a mí me gusta tomar. And that's never going to change. Yes, am I trying to be more conscious of my drinking? Not drink as much? Blah, 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 blah. Yes. But if I want to get blackout drunk one day, I'm going to fucking do it. So, I les voy diciendo que we're probably going to be drinking on this podcast, cussing a shit ton. Bad Bunny tiene una canción donde dice, ¿quién dijo que yo quiero ser ejemplo? I second that, because I'm not saying que yo soy ejemplo para nadie. Yo vivo mi vida a mi manera como yo quiero. Y si no les gusta, y'all don't have to watch. I'll do something, post something on Instagram and then they come on my YouTube and comment. I'll post something on my TikTok and then they come on my YouTube and comment. I'll post something on Twitter and then they come and comment. I'm like, you could simply save yourself that time and just not comment at all, because you will get blocked. Like I already said this. Voy a mandar a mucha más gente a la verga y voy a bloquear a mucha más gente. I had this, one of my girls like comment. She was like, girl, for every hater that you have 10 people that love you. So focus on the love. And I do try to focus on the love. But again, I like to read these comments because they kind of fuel me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing me. So let me finish this one off. He said, ya no estás tan chavala to be recording that state. Sheesh. College days are the past, mija. Es tiempo de avanzar. Advanzar. I don't know. Half of shit was misspelled. How are you gonna tell me que ya no estoy tan chavala and like that I need to grow up, blah blah blah? Meanwhile, you're making a page que dice la verdad duele, because you can't even show your own fucking face and speak for yourself and like put your name and your face out there. To sit here and try to act holier than thou or to judge me, but then you literally use your free time to create pages so that you can comment hate on people's social media. Let's really assess where our priorities are, please. At least I know I'm a good person in real life, and the people in real life, in my everyday life, the people that know me love me, and that's really what matters to me. I know that in real life I'm a good person, and that I don't maliciously sit on the internet and try to hate on people and bring them down. I started listening to The Mountain Is You this week. My friend had recommended it to me, and I like to listen to podcasts or books when I'm on the Stairmaster. I do 30 minutes on the Stairmaster every day before my workout, so that just kind of gets me in a good headspace. So I like to listen to things that are like motivating and stuff, and I like to write down like quotes and stuff that resonate. Usually if I have like a hard copy, I will highlight whatever resonates with me or make notes or write the notes down. But that book, first of all, 10 out of 10 recommend. It was literally calling me the fuck out, and it's literally so good. I have been meaning to make more time to listen to it and stuff, but again, I like to have the time to write or to write down the notes. If I'm doing cardio, I will just write whatever resonates on my notes. You can pick me apart as much as you want to, but I'm the first one to say I'm imperfect. I'm human. I make mistakes. But the thing about me is I'm continuously trying to learn and grow, and a lot of people are not in that space. So at least I'm the one receiving the hate and not the one spewing it out. But yeah. And then last dumbass comment was from this guy that said I basically talked shit about Twin Peaks and that it was dirty, and I knew it. He was basically like, hopefully you don't blast Jing like you blasted Twin Peaks. That was dirty and you know it. Like something like that. I'm not even gonna like take the time to go look for it. The one thing I will say about that is that there's a difference between talking shit and speaking the truth. Everything I said about Twin Peaks is true. It's things that people have witnessed or experienced, and not just other people, but I have witnessed and experienced, and it's facts. It's true. It's what's happened. And this has been my thing all week in general, is I'm done protecting people, things, places, whatever that make me feel uncomfortable, that do me dirty, stuff like that. If you don't want to be known or seen as a shitty person or whatever, then don't do shitty things. It's really that simple. Again, because I know someone's going to be like, well, you're shitty because of this, or you know, the difference is that if I mess up, I own up to it, and I try to be a better person about it. And I don't intentionally do anything to hurt or harm anybody. I don't do anything with negative intentions, with ugly energy, ever, ever, ever. And at least I can say that, because not a lot of people can say the same. But yeah, those have been the dumbass comments that I have received this week. And it's just, like I said, it's lovely because I'll be having a good ass day and then I'll see a dumbass comment come through and I'm just like, love that. But it's okay. Like I said, I use it to motivate me, to push me forward. At the end of the day, they're giving me a view, they're giving me a comment. That's engagement. So it is what it is. But what I did want to talk about today is something that I've gotten asked multiple times about this, and there's people have been wanting an episode about this. So we're finally going to answer the question of if I'm dating, if I'm single, si estoy viuda, si estoy dejada, divorciada, si tengo hijos, si tengo marido. And the answer to that is that I am single. I am dating and just I do want to find someone that's long term, but at the moment I am single. And if I do end up in a relationship with someone, I will most definitely keep that private for a long time until I'm 110% sure that that's someone that I want to put out there, because I know that they will pick that person apart like they pick me apart. So yeah, and people will feel entitled to comment on me and whatever that relationship is and that person, and just, yeah. So that I'm trying to prepare myself for that. If and when it happens, y'all will find out when I'm getting married. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that's something that I will definitely keep private for a while, if and when it happens, especially just because I have been very open, especially on my TikTok. But like, I've realized again that not everyone that watches my TikToks or watches my social media is doing it with a good intention. I have talked about my past relationships, and then there's been so many times that people have tried to come on here and kind of shit on me and be like, well, you choose shitty men and your ex used to do this and like you have no room to talk, blah, 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 blah. That's why I've been hesitant to talk about this, just because my love life has never been the greatest. I have been cheated on in basically every single one of my relationships. I have only really been in 3 I would consider them relationships. One was in high school, which was just very on and off, just not really even a relationship. Really, the 2 relationships that I actually consider relationship are one that I had in college, which my ex and I are still super cool. We dated back in 2017-ish, and we were together for like a year and a half or something. I don't know. It was very on and off too. And he did end up having a baby after we broke up. So that was very, very hard for me. The thing with that relationship is I loved our relationship. My ex from college was my best friend. I really did love him, and he did teach me a lot as well. He was in the military, so he was in the Air Force in Wyoming, and I was in college at CSU. He would come down to Fort Collins all the time to like go out and stuff in Old Town. At that time, I wasn't of age to like go out and stuff. He had just turned 22, I think, and I was 20 when we started dating. So it was right around the time when he was in his party phase, going out, you know, being a little hoe. And I was working as a CNA. I was working 60-ish hours on average a week, like 40 to 60, working my ass off. Most of my time was spent either at school or at work. And he was in his party phase, and he had just turned 21, 22, so he wanted to go out with all his friends and would always go out. And so a lot of the fighting that we did was because he would go out and my friends would see him out getting danced on or him talking to other girls and stuff. But so that was definitely, you know, something that I should have never really put up with, but I was young and it was my first time going through that, and I loved him, and he, you know, whatever. But he was really genuinely my best friend. We used to go on the best dates. We had the best time together. Like, he was like truly like my actual first love. And like I said, we still like check in here and there. We were able to like kind of move past what happened. And, you know, I have a lot of love for him now. And like I said, we still kind of keep up with each other here and there, and he's genuinely someone I just care about and I will consider a friend no matter what. And I actually asked him if he would be on the podcast, and he said he's down. So hopefully we can get that done at some point and we can kind of discuss our relationship, what we've learned from it and stuff like that. But yeah, that was my first actual full relationship. The first person that I brought home to my parents. He met my parents like once. My parents have never really ever met anybody that I've dated, so he was the first one that I brought home and that my parents met. After that, I was single for a little bit, and then back in 2020 I dated somebody else. He was actually just a really shitty person. My standards were just not even there. I thought he was the most attractive person I've ever seen in my entire life, and so I kind of just idolized him and didn't really set any other standard. I was like, all right, he's hot and that's it. He had a lot of issues within himself, was very insecure and whatever, and so in order to feed his ego, he would cheat on me a lot. And I didn't know this. I didn't know he was cheating on me. Had I known that, then I would have not continued to be with him. I mean, there were definitely some red flags, but cuando estás enamorada, like te pendejas, you know? I realize that now, that si alguien te está, like, if someone's accusing you of doing something, it's probably because they're doing it themselves, because they have that guilty mind. And that's basically what would happen with me and him. He too, a month after we broke up, had a baby, so I have gotten cheated on in both of my relationships, and I have always been the one that just kind of overgives. When I'm in love, I am the most loyal person. I am a ride or die, which I've realized really gets you nowhere anymore. But I've always been the one to overgive. I'm very big on love languages, and I try to love people the way they receive love, but I'm also a big gift giver. I'm very thoughtful. With both of my exes, I really would go out of my way. Hubo veces que les prestaba dinero, que les compraba cosas. My ex, I would, when he was moving out of his dorms on base, I literally deep cleaned his whole apartment. My other ex, he got in a car accident, and I let him borrow $800 so he could buy a new car. There's a lot of shit that I'm like, damn, I really did this for someone, and that's what I got in return. I always say this, I will never regret the love that I give, but I know to be more mindful of who I'm giving it to and who's worthy of it. So yeah, but no matter, even through all the shitty things that I've been through and the grimy things that have been done to me, I always still say that I'm a very hopeful romantic nonetheless, and I know that people with genuine hearts and genuine intentions are out there, and that someone that loves the same way I do is out there. I love love, and I always say this, I see love everywhere. I see it past just a romantic relationship. I think love is the freest and most simple and easiest thing to do, and like I said, it's free, and so I see love in everything. I love everybody. I call everyone mi amor, mi corazón. I talk with love. It's so easy to show and give love, and I try to lead my day and my life with love. I see love in my family. I see it in my niece and my nephews and my little sister. When I see them, I see it in my friends when I hang out with them, and I feel so full and full of love after I leave after hanging out with them. I see it within myself. I see it with my girls on TikTok. I see it within everything and everyone. So yo no siento que a mí me falta nada, no siento que me falta el amor, and I firmly believe that one day I will receive the love that I deserve, y si no, pues again, I'll give it to myself. But quiero alguien que sea romántico, que sea detallista. I want a hardworking man, un hombre de familia, un hombre motivado, trabajador, ambitious, empathetic. I want someone that's emotionally available, a man that's comfortable within himself, that doesn't work from the ego, that is continuously willing to learn, that's intelligent. I look for a lot in someone, because I know that that's what I offer as well. I've realized that I'm at a point where I don't want to have to teach a man how to be a man. Si no le nace, a mí no me gusta estar pidiendo. So I don't want to have to be like, oh, I want to go on a date. You need to get me flowers. Like, no, I do that for myself and I set that standard. And the right man, like, I know el que quiere, quiere. And if he wanted to, he would. So even if it's not within him to do those things, I know that the right man who actually cares about me will pick up on the things that matter to me and show up and do that for me. So I'm finally at a point where I'm ready to like open myself up to receiving the kind of love that I deserve, and obviously todo a su tiempo, so I'm not stressing and there's not a timeline on it. I'm not pressed for time. I know que todo va a venir a su tiempo. Right now, I'm currently single, trying to see what I do want and what I don't want in a relationship, trying to advocate for myself and communicate those needs and what I want from someone. So yeah, hopefully, I don't know, maybe this is the year that I end up in a relationship. That would be nice. But yeah, I definitely do want to do more episodes on dating and get some, I have a lot of guys asking me to do episodes where I have girls and just kind of giving our opinions and stuff like that. I do plan to do that as well. I do want to do a podcast episode just about getting cheated on and how I was able to deal with that and just how I've been able to heal from my toxic relationships in general. But that's a story for another day. But hopefully that's a kind of little entry into my love life and where we're at right now. Hopefully I will eventually find the person that I'm meant to be with, that makes me happy, that has my best interest in mind, that loves me unconditionally, and that learns to love me in the ways that I receive love, and that shows up for me, that supports me, that is able to give the same love that I give. Until then, I am grateful that I'm surrounded by so much love from other people, from my family, from my friends, from my girls on TikTok, from, just people in general. I receive love daily, and it's not just from the internet. Thankfully, I have physical representations of the love that I have in my life every single day outside of the internet too. So I try not to focus too much on the hate, but I do receive it. So I use that to transmute it into what we're doing here, another podcast. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and answer everyone's question of whether I'm single or not. And yeah, let me know what other topics you guys want me to talk about. Also, just really quick, I mentioned Moment for Life by Nicki Minaj in my last podcast, and I was talking about how it was my song of the week. And Flavor Vivid, the tarot reader that I listen to every week, literally mentioned that song for my reading this week. So look at the universe. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Give me 5 stars if you're listening to me on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. And yeah, make sure to subscribe. A lot of people watch and don't actually subscribe. So please do that.